Greetings to you all. This is your brother Ambrose Weda, Esq.Lawyer, lawyer, author, and mentor. Thank you so much for tuning into the Greatness School YouTube channel, where iron sharpens iron. If you find the videos useful and sharpening, I request that you subscribe by clicking the subscribe button, then turn on the notification for any incoming videos by hitting the notification bell. Like it, recommend it to a friend, and give us your feedback and suggestions for improvement by commenting below. Thank you so much and welcome. Welcome to our Greatness Talk today. Today we want to look at 7 unwritten rules of a lawyer to a client communication. Lawyer to client communication. 7 unwritten rules. Rules that play and act and govern but are not written anywhere. Clients, you know, are partners. They're not necessarily our friends. The relationship, the advocate-client, the lawyer-client relationship is founded on law and ethical rules. Clients are generally consumers of legal services. They are customers and paymasters or paymistresses. There is a distinct and ideal way of communicating with clients. And that communication is within the bounds of law, ethical law, written law, common law. But there are some unwritten laws that are coded and you need to know as you communicate with your clients. Number 1, set parameters. From the start of engagement with the client, set clear boundaries of communication. Set expectations, what will be done, what can be done, and what is being done. Look at how frequent you are going to communicate. The intervals of those communications. Set this. These are not set in law. These are not set in the ethical rules. Set out the preferred modes of communication. I would advise as a senior lawyer that let it always be in writing. Better still recorded if it is a conversation. Very little verbal. These parameters should include the best times of communication, especially verbal communication, especially telephone calls. Ideal times for the calls. The channels of communication that you're going to use. Is it telephone? Is it email? Is it what? All these are not written, but you require them. Also set the parameters. How are you going to communicate in times of emergencies, crises? All this unwritten rule, set the parameters. Number 2, always have clean communication. What do I mean by this? Avoid legal jargons, technical terms. Clean communication includes purely official communication. No jokes, no tricks, no implications. Use short, simple sentences. Plain language. Best official language of communication prevailing at that time in your region or jurisdiction. I would advise short, clear communication. In clean communication, avoid and keep out emotions. Keep out innuendos. Keep out ambiguity. Clean communication. Number 3, communicate frequently. What do I mean by this? Communicate preemptively before a client asks or seeks to know or communicate with you. You have already done it. Make it regular. Even if the position has not changed, tell the client it is still as it were the last time we spoke, or I wrote, or we wrote. Communicate to keep a client's matter active and regularly review those matters and inform the client. In other words, you keep the client away through frequent communication, regular communication. Give summaries of the positions. Even after a meeting, as the client walks out, please do a communication where you are giving a summary, you're thanking the client, and you are setting in motion and on record what has been discussed and what has been agreed and the way forward. Number 4, always give a roadmap, unwritten but required. Communicate the prevailing position and bearing, and then give the client the direction where the matter should be or where the matter is going. In the roadmap, have the strategy of the destination, how you are going to achieve it, what you are going to do, what the client is supposed to do, your actions to achieve the goal, the client's response to achieve that goal. Set out the steps coming and from where you are and from where you have come from. Always a roadmap. There's no law requiring this, but it is an unwritten law. Number 5, listen to the client effectively. Your first responsibility is always to listen to the client. Hear him or her out and completely. Listen first, hear in silence but actively. Listen to questions, concerns, briefs, reactions. See the body language. Read the emotions. And in the course of listening, do not interrupt unless you are seeking clarification or to understand. Let the client always leave your threshold knowing and feeling that he or she has been listened to effectively and has communicated his or her heart out. There is no law requiring you to listen effectively, but it is a key and written law. Number 6, always uphold ethics. Ethics require you to remember that this relationship is insulated in law. Duty to communicate in a timely and efficient manner, that is the ethical requirement. Duty to keep the client informed. Observe confidentiality. Duty to use efficient and economic channel. Use secure and encrypted channels. And you never share confidential material on social media. This is the part where today's lawyer is in blatant breach. Impliedly disclosing client materials on social media. It's an unwritten rule that you uphold ethics at all times. All times. Number 7, always keep records. Clients have a tendency to jump, to pretend to have forgotten, to forget. Keep records of all the communications, all of them. Remember, this is a legal and ethical relationship, and you are held to higher standards. So telephone and face-to-face conversations, keep records. How? Make summaries and send documents. Where possible, inform the client that the conversation is being recorded for purposes of records. Virtual conferences, ask to record or advise on recording, but keep records. Keep this in store for the future until long after the lawyer-client relationship has ended. Long depends on the circumstances of each relationship. There are some cases like wills, family estates. It is a lifetime. Transcribe some conversations and record. Keep clear, secure relationship until long after the end. You need these records. So keep records. The law does not require that you keep all the records, but it's unwritten law. Keep records. It may come in handy. In conclusion, as the first century writer, Christian writers, St. Paul, writing to the Christian church in Colossae, he said this, Colossians 1, Colossians 4, 6. Paul said, let your conversations be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone. In conclusion, Apostle Paul, the first century writer, in his letter to the Christian church at Colossae, found in Christian Bible, Colossians 4:6, he said, and I quote, let your conversations be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone. Thank you so much, and God bless you.